Hello everyone, in this video I am going to show a opening called English Sicilian Reversed. It starts with pawn to c4, e5 and many moves continues like pawn to d4, pawn to e3, knight to f3, g3 and knight to c3. Today we are going to look at the most popular variation g3, knight to c6, bishop g2, knight f6, knight c3, and many moves are there for black to continue in this position like pawn to g3 and bishop to e7, bishop to b4 or pawn to d6 or pawn to d6. So we are going to look at bishop e7 variation. In this variation, white will play e3, allowing knight to develop from e2 square, and d4 is playable in this after knight g e2, and f4 is also playable, and this is an aggressive choice. Castling knight g to e2, d4 breaking up the center, capture not d4, d6 is played, and castle, and knight to d7 allowing f5. So pawn to d5, capture, and bishop f6, creating the square for knight c6. So after bishop e7, we are going to look bishop b4 variation. In this, generally white continues with pawn to e3 also and knight to f3. We are going to look at e3 because if knight f6, then e5 is coming and no place for knight to go on d2. If we want to play d3 early, we can play. d3 is also playable in this position, allowing bishop d2, and queen to c2 is also playable. Castle, knight f6, and you can say d4, capture, queen to c2 is also playable, and bishop d2. It's your choice what you want to play. Both are equal. After bishop b4, we are going to look at g6 variation, and this continues with pawn to d3 and knight f6. e3 is one of the most popular lines. Bishop g7, knight g to e2, castle, and pawn to d6. d4, c takes, knight, pawn takes, or knight can also take, occupying a strong center and opening up the bishop diagonal. So after this structural explanation, I am going to show a game between Vishnathan Anand and Vladimir Kramnik. In this game, Vladimir Kramnik had white pieces and he started with English opening. So this is the game played between Anand and Vladimir Kramnik. Here Kramnik had white pieces and he started with pawn to c4, English opening, c5, g3, g6, bishop g2, bishop g7, knight c3, knight f6, e3, e6, d4 directly before black could play d5. C takes on d4, e takes on d4, and castling kingside. Knight to f3, d5, b3 supporting c4 and not going from the center, Knight to e4 attacking the knight. Bishop to b2 protecting. Knight takes c3. Bishop takes c3 and b6 developing bishop from b7 or a6 square. C takes d5, e takes d5 and rook e8 are checks are coming. That's why castling king side, putting king at a safer place. Knight to c6, knight to e5, knight captures and bishop to e6 blocking the pawn. Rook to e1, queen to d7, going for bishop to h3 and you can say exchanging the light square bishops. Queen to d2, rooks to c8, bishop to d4 and rook to c7, doubling up the rooks. a4 is meant for not to play moves like queen to b4 or pawn to b4 at some point of time. Rook f8 doubling up, bishop to f1, threatening bishop to b5 and bishop to a6, bishop to f8 and bishop to a6, rook to d8 and pawn to h4, bishop c5 exchanging the bishops and pawn to b4, bishop takes, queen takes and queen to e7 and bishop to d3, king to g7 was played and a5 again doubling up the rooks and a takes on b6 and bishop to f1. b5 was played. If queen captures, if if queen captures, then rook b7 will be played and this pawn will be picked up. So Kramnik didn't capture and played bishop to f1. b5 was played and bishop to d3. Repeating the moves, but Anand goes for exchange sacrifice and plays rook to c4. Bishop captures and queen captures on b4. As white bishop cannot go anywhere because queen is pinned. Like if bishop captures, then queen will be captured. So if rook a b1, then queen will capture on c4, and this is what is played in the game. Queen to d2 was played and pawn to h5, rook b to c1 and queen to b3. So what's the idea of queen to d2? The idea of queen to d2 is to play queen to f4 at some point of time in the game, and queen f6 checks are coming. h5, rook b to c1 and queen to b3. Rook takes, bishop takes and queen to f4, allowing queen f6 check. Bishop to f5 was played and e6. This is again a pawn sacrifice, and why this pawn is being sacrificed by Kramnik? This pawn is being sacrificed because queen to e5 checks are coming and rook a1 are coming at some point of time. Bishop e6 and queen e5 you can see, and this is lost for black. You can say king to h1 king to h7 and rook to a1, and Anand resigned as there is no breakthrough of rook to a8, and Kramnik is already has a compensation. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe my channel for more. Thank you.